All right. I'm going to go ahead and start with my prediction videos again. I did a lot of these last season before the season kicked off. Um, I was doing my predictions for week by week, but life happened, and I just didn't have to. I didn't have the time. I didn't have as much time as I thought I was going to. So I'm going to go ahead and give another shot this year, and hopefully I'll be able to get through all of them. So I'm going to start out with Oklahoma State, since I'm a OSU alumni. Last year they really dropped off after they started out really hot. I mean they were winning some good games, and they started out really good, and then they fell off. I mean, it was just like a huge drop off at the end in the middle of the season. It was after that Texas game that things just went in the wrong direction, and they could not recover. They didn't have the depth. They were really banged up and injured, and I it things just derailed quickly, and it was ugly. That's just the best way to put it. But going into this year, I don't see much hope for them to have a great season. I think this is going to be a very mediocre season or bad season, honestly, because so many players have transferred out, and it's just the transfer portal has not been kind to Oklahoma State, and they just don't have like the money for NIL like some of these bigger colleges do. They have all these huge donors and everything, so it's not going to it hasn't worked out. So starting out, Central Arkansas, they'll win that one. I mean, that's pretty simple, pretty easy game to win. So they'll start out 1-0. Next game is at Arizona State. They won this one kind of convincingly last year, but it was in Stillwater. And at the time, Arizona State was not doing very well because they had a bunch of issues with Herm Edwards. He got fired in the middle of the season, and they were just a bad team. This season, I think they'll be a little bit better. And honestly, since it's at Arizona State, I honestly think Oklahoma State's going to lose this game. I just Arizona State is a tough place to play, and I see a loss here because Oklahoma State's on the decline, and Arizona State is trying to get its feet level again. So I think Arizona State gets a big win for their program, and I think they get this win, and Oklahoma State suffers their first loss of the season. Next game, South Alabama. You should win this one. South Alabama was okay last year, but Oklahoma State should win this one. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a W. Next game is at Iowa State. Excuse me. Iowa State was not very good last year, but I think they'll be better this year, and they'll probably be like a middle of the pack team, probably kind of like Oklahoma State. And with saying that, it's at Iowa State. I'm going to give this W to the Cyclones, and Oklahoma State's going to suffer their second loss of the season. Next game is at home against Kansas State. Kansas State absolutely destroyed Oklahoma State last season in Manhattan. It was really ugly. I mean, that was the worst game I have seen Oklahoma State play, like, I think ever, under Mike Gundy. And they return a lot of their team. I know they're missing their running back, but a lot of that team's coming back, and I think they're going to be pretty good, and they're going to be competing for the Big 12 title again. So I think Kansas State beats Oklahoma State in Stillwater as well, and this game might be ugly. Honestly, it might get ugly. So we're at 2-3 now. Next game is at home against Kansas. Oklahoma State lost this game last year, but Kansas was actually a decent team last year. They were all right until their quarterback got injured. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think Oklahoma State does squeak out this win. Kansas has a decent coach. He'll keep them in this game, so this game will probably be competitive, but I think Oklahoma State finds a way to win the game at home. So let's see, we're at 3-3. So moving on to at West Virginia. West Virginia is terrible. I can't think of. I know his last name is Brown, the coach there. Don Brown, is it? Something like that. Maybe it's not. I can't remember his name, but anyways, he's terrible. He's on his way out. I don't see West Virginia winning this game even at home. I think Oklahoma State will get a W here and go to 4-3. So next game is against one of the new rivals to the Big 12, Cincinnati. Cincinnati will be decent. And I think they're going to surprise some of the Big 12 teams. And I think they go into Stillwater, and I think they get the W. I think they steal a W here. I think they're a better team. So I think Oklahoma State suffers another loss here. They go to 4-4. Next game is against OU. OU is going to be very much improved this year, a lot better than last year. So I think this is another loss. If Oklahoma State could not beat Oklahoma last year, then it's not going to happen. Last year to play OU as a regular season game, but it's just, I don't see it happening. So I've got OSU dropping Bedlam as well. So next game is at UCF. The Gus bus is going to be there. UCF should be rolling at this point. I think that they're going to be pretty decent too, and they're going to get that ground game going, and Oklahoma State's defense is not going to be able to stop it. So I think Oklahoma State loses this game as well. So 3 losses in a row. And at this point, Mike Gundy is going to be on the hot seat, and it's going to be pretty ugly in Stillwater. Next game is at Houston. Houston's not that great, even with Dana Holgorsen there, but they'll still have that spread like air raid offense, so they're going to score some points definitely. But I think Oklahoma State finds a way to win this game and squeak another one out. Last game is at home against BYU. BYU can shock you if you're not careful. They're one of those sneaky good teams usually. But man, this one I went back and forth on, but I think Oklahoma State can pull this one out at home, and they can beat BYU. So yeah, I think Oklahoma State is going to end up being at 6-6 this season, if they're lucky. Because honestly, they could go 5-7 and miss a bowl game. Honestly, because it's really not looking good. That's just the best way to put it. So I've got OSU at 6-6. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.